And let's shift focus to the raging war in Gaza, which has now deepened cracks within the Israeli forces. The Netanyahu government's largest call-up of reservists in recent months has triggered protests. The Israeli government has asked 60,000 reservists to report to duty. This is to renew its offensive to occupy Gaza City. However, many reservists have refused to return to the war-torn enclave. They want the war to end and seek a ceasefire deal.
Don't put me in this position. Don't put me in the position that I need to decide if I'm going to risk again my life and maybe kill hostages, or my friend going to be injured or something happen at them, and push our government to finish the war and make the deal.
And it's not just the soldiers defying the call-ups. Mothers are also echoing the same sentiment, worried that their children might die in vain in Gaza. The war has killed more than 450 Israeli soldiers so far, and over 64,000 Palestinians.
We want our children, the combat soldiers, out of Gaza now. We do not want our children dying in vain. We do not want our corrupt and extremist government to sacrifice our hostages, which should have been home a year and a half ago alive. We want our soldiers to go out of Gaza now.
My youngest son was 14 months in Gaza straight. I couldn't stop thinking of how to break his leg, break his arm, wound him in some way that he won't be able to go back.
The defiance marks a new chapter in the nearly 2-year-long war. It's a sharp contrast from the early days of the war, when reservists would rush to duty following Hamas's October 7th attack. But the resistance is growing now, and this is despite fears of imprisonment, as military service is mandatory for most Jewish men and women in Israel.
The soldier and the people in the army don't feel the same way in the beginning, and we need to find every time another reason why we do that. And for now it's the hard position, because we don't really understand. I don't really understand why they decide to continue the war.
Israelis, including civilians, have been staging mass protests. The protesters accuse Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of prolonging the war. They claim that the war is for political purposes now, instead of reaching a deal with Hamas. They want the Netanyahu government to bring back the remaining 48 hostages, 20 of whom are believed to be alive. Moreover, critics of war, which include former senior security officials, believe the latest offensive will put hostages at risk. Israel is also facing mounting criticism, both nationally and internationally, over the humanitarian crisis, the war, and the aid blockade. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu seems unfazed by the protests. He warned Gazans to leave before launching his planned offensive.
I promised you a few days ago that we would take down the terror towers in Gaza, and this is exactly what we are doing. In the past couple of days, 50 such towers were taken down by the Air Force. Now all this is only an introduction, the sifter to the powerful main act, which is a ground maneuver of our forces who are now assembling and organizing into Gaza City. And this is why I say to the residents of Gaza, I take this opportunity, listen carefully, you have been warned. Leave now.
He has vowed that a Palestinian state will not be established. The remarks were made during an event on the September 11th. It was to celebrate Netanyahu's signing of an agreement. It is for pushing ahead with Israel's controversial settlement expansion plan in the West Bank.
We said there would not be a Palestinian state, and we say again there won't be a Palestinian state. This place is ours. We will take care of our country and our security and our heritage.
The contentious plan received backlash from the UAE and Turkey, while European nations like the UK and France have announced their bid to recognize the state of Palestine. Netanyahu has repeatedly asserted that the war will end only when all the hostages are returned. He also wants complete disarmament of Hamas and Israel to maintain open-ended security control over the territory. But Israeli citizens and even the soldiers want the prolonged war to end. Will the protests by reservists be enough to change Netanyahu's course of mind? That remains to be seen.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
$36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka-charge mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Fiskali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も。
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.